Sex, just one word but wrapped in layers of silence, stigma, and shame. For generations, societies around the world have treated sexual education as a taboo subject, something not to be discussed openly, especially with young people. But here's the truth. Avoiding the conversation doesn't protect anyone. In fact, silence often causes more harm than good. Today, we begin a journey to break these taboos and explore why sexual education is not just important, but essential for healthier, safer, and more empowered lives. Think about it. Every young person, regardless of where they are born, will grow up experiencing puberty, attraction, and eventually intimacy. These are natural human processes, as real as eating or sleeping. Yet when it comes to preparing our children for these experiences, many cultures shut the doors. Parents avoid the conversation, schools skip the topic, and so young people turn to unreliable sources, peers, internet searches, or worse, misinformation. And when knowledge is replaced by myths, consequences follow. Lack of sexual education contributes to unplanned pregnancies, sexually transmitted infections, unsafe abortions, and even abuse that goes unrecognized. But beyond health risks, there's something even deeper. Silence steals confidence. A young person who doesn't understand their body feels confused, ashamed, even broken. They grow up with questions but no answers, and sometimes with trauma that could have been prevented by just one honest conversation. Imagine a girl named Sarah. She's 14. One day, her body changes. She gets her first period. But no one ever explained menstruation to her. She panics, thinks she's sick, maybe even dying. Instead of feeling proud of becoming a woman, she feels scared and dirty. Or imagine a boy, Ali. He's 15 and experiences his first nocturnal emission. A wet dream. He wakes up terrified, thinking something is wrong with him. His parents never discussed puberty. His teachers never mentioned it. And so he hides his fear, never knowing that what happened is completely normal. These are real experiences happening to millions of children every day. Confusion, silence, shame, all because sexual education was treated as a taboo. But here's the good news. This doesn't have to be the norm. Sexual education, when done properly, is not about teaching kids to have sex. It's about teaching them to value their bodies, respect boundaries, understand consent, and protect themselves from harm. It's about empowering them with facts instead of leaving them vulnerable to myths. Studies show that countries with comprehensive sexual education actually see lower rates of teenage pregnancies and sexually transmitted infections. More importantly, young people in those societies grow up confident, respectful, and aware of their responsibilities in relationships. There are three main pillars of sexual education. 1. Knowledge, understanding anatomy, puberty, reproduction, and safe practices. 2. Values, respect, consent, healthy relationships, and body positivity. 3. Skills, the ability to make informed decisions, say no to pressure, and seek help when needed. When we combine these three, we raise not just healthier individuals but stronger societies. In this first part, we've begun to uncover why silence around sex is dangerous, and why knowledge is a form of protection, not corruption. In the next part, we'll go deeper. We'll explore how parents, teachers, and communities can step forward to break the taboos, and what real-world sexual education looks like when it's done right. Because if we truly care about our future generations, we must give them the tools they need to live safely, confidently, and with dignity. Breaking taboos starts with talking, and talking starts with us. Let's picture this. A mother sits with her 12-year-old daughter, gently explaining menstruation before it begins. She doesn't shame her. She doesn't scare her. Instead, she empowers her daughter to see it as a normal, beautiful sign of growth. Or think about a father who sits with his teenage son and says, "You're going to experience changes in your body. You may have questions, and you can always come to me." Imagine the trust that builds. Imagine the confidence a child feels when they know they're not alone. This is the heart of sexual education. It is not a one-time lecture. It is a lifelong conversation, built on trust and respect. And here's the most important part. When parents do not talk, children still seek answers, but from the wrong places. So either we teach them through truth, or they will learn through myths. Let's also talk about consent. Too many young people grow up without understanding what consent really means. Consent is not silence. Consent is not pressure. Consent is not fear. Consent is an enthusiastic yes, freely given, informed, and respected. Teaching our children about consent from an early age, whether it's asking before borrowing a toy, or respecting personal space, lays the foundation for healthy, respectful relationships later in life. Imagine how many cases of abuse, harassment, and toxic relationships could be prevented if every child understood consent clearly. But here's where many cultures struggle. They fear that sexual education will encourage young people to experiment too early. This is one of the biggest myths. Research from across the world shows that comprehensive sexual education delays sexual activity, not accelerates it. Why? Because knowledge brings responsibility. When children know the risks, the realities, and the respect required, they are less likely to take reckless decisions. So how can we build healthier approaches? 1. Start early in age-appropriate ways. Teach children about body parts, privacy, and boundaries. Use correct names instead of nicknames. 2. Normalize conversations. Treat questions with openness, not anger. If a child asks, "Where do babies come from?" I give them an answer suitable for their age. 3. Involve schools. Trained educators can provide structured knowledge, especially where parents may lack confidence. 4. Focus on values, not just facts. Sexual education isn't only biology, it's also respect, empathy, and responsibility. 5. Use media wisely. Encourage children to consume healthy, fact-based content instead of being left at the mercy of harmful, online misinformation. And let's not forget those who are often left behind. Children with disabilities, children in rural areas, children from conservative families. They need this knowledge just as much, sometimes even more, because silence leaves them even more vulnerable. A society that claims to protect its children but denies them sexual education is not truly protecting them, it is abandoning them. But change is possible. Around the world, societies that once resisted sexual education are now embracing it. Parents are realizing that honesty builds stronger family bonds. Schools are learning that teaching respect and safety is just as important as teaching math or science. And young people, when trusted with knowledge, are proving that they can handle it with maturity. Sexual education is not about destroying culture. It's about protecting lives. It's about preparing the next generation to make informed, respectful, and healthy choices. It's about breaking cycles of silence, abuse, and shame, and replacing them with empowerment, confidence, and safety. If we truly care about the dignity of our children, we must give them the truth. If we want safer communities, healthier families, and stronger futures, we must replace silence with education. Because the real taboo is not talking about sex. The real taboo is leaving our children unprepared. Breaking taboos starts with one brave conversation. And maybe that conversation starts with you.